Hey everyone, in this video I will be showing you how to cut glass. In the first half of this video I will show you how to place the pattern onto the glass, and then we'll move on to the actual glass cutting portion. And then later in the video I will be answering some of your questions related to glass cutting. So we now have our pattern. If you missed the video on how I make my patterns, it's right before this one in my stained glass tutorials playlist, but I will also link it here in the corner if you want to watch that. This is the glass that I'll be using, along with some of this textured glass as well. Usually with textured glass, you would flip your pattern and place it on the smooth side because you always want to score on the smoothest side of the glass. Since this is clear, I'll just keep the pattern on the textured side since it will still be visible when I flip the glass over to start scoring. Another thing to consider is placing all your pieces so that the direction of the pattern is facing the same way. With a subtle textured glass like this one that I'm using now, you don't need to do that, but those are a couple things to keep in mind when working with textured glass. So you want to be strategic when placing each piece onto the glass. You want to place them close together to preserve glass, but also make sure that each piece is possible to cut out without it breaking through another piece. If there are any straight-edged pieces, I will try to place those right along the edge of the glass. This is an easy way to make sure any straight edges are clean and will only need minimal grinding. Anytime you place a new piece down, just make sure you'll be able to cut it out without intercepting previous pieces. That's another reason using stickers is helpful. If I need to rearrange, it's easy to peel them off and place them somewhere else. Moving on to the glass cutting, I highly recommend getting a grid mat. It catches all of the small pieces of glass, and this way you don't have to wipe off your surface every time you set the glass back down, and it just helps to keep your workspace clean. You will need a glass cutter, of course, running pliers, and grossing pliers. And always wear safety glasses when cutting glass. If you want to know more about all the supplies, I do have a full video for beginners that I will have linked. You want to hold the glass cutter so it's comfortable in your hand. You can either push it away from you or pull it when scoring. You can try it both ways to see what's comfortable and which way you have more control. It's also important to note where the actual scoring wheel on the glass cutter is. You want to cut the glass as close as possible to the pattern, so when you go to score the glass, don't just place the edge of the glass cutter along the pattern. You want to look above it and make sure that you are aligning the scoring wheel right up against the pattern, because as you'll see right here, there are gaps on either side of it. So if you just line it up with the glass cutter, you're leaving that extra space where that little gap is, and that's going to end up leaving you with extra glass that you'll have to grind off. So once you start scoring, you just have to commit and follow through with it, because if you lift the glass cutter and stop scoring, the glass will most likely not break where you want it to. Use a decent amount of pressure. Usually it will make this sound, and you should be able to see the score line. I'm going to start with the running pliers, and there will be a little mark on them at the top. I went over mine with Sharpie so it's easy to see, but you align that mark up with the score line and just apply slight pressure. As you can see, it started to break about halfway through, so now I'm going to go over to the other side and try to finish the break. When I apply pressure, it doesn't budge, so don't try and force it. If the glass doesn't immediately break, just switch to another tool. And if you still have trouble getting it to break, using the end of the glass cutter most of the time is foolproof. Just lightly tap beneath the score line until it completes the break. So right here, the very end of it broke off. I might have not opened up the score line all the way to that edge enough, and I also could have used the grossing pliers and pulled away on the end since the rest of the score line had already opened. And luckily I had enough space on this piece to just move it lower. So now that I have all these pieces removed from the main sheet of glass, I will break them up into smaller chunks, and then I will start by removing the outside pieces. For smaller pieces like these that are way too small to hold in your hand, I like to use the running pliers to grip onto one side, and then I'll use the grazing pliers to break it. And to use the grazing pliers, just line them parallel to the score line and pull away. Again, you don't want to force it if it's not breaking. In this case, just move the tools to a different spot and try again. You will always score the glass, even to remove small pieces like this one, and here is our first piece completely cut out. Before we move on with cutting out the rest of the pieces, I will go over cutting curved pieces. Starting with this outward curve, instead of scoring along the pattern the whole way, I'm just scoring to about the halfway point and then letting the glass cutter run off to the edge without curving anymore. This way you don't have to worry about breaking the curve in one go. We're going to just separate it into 2 breaks. Here I can use the running pliers. You can hear the snap, so we know the score opened up on this side. And I'll do the same to the opposite end. I'm scoring the remaining piece, and neither the running pliers or grazing pliers were working, so I just tapped with the glass cutter until it broke. And now we will really test the tapping method with this inward curve, because earlier I mentioned that it's kind of a foolproof method or technique. In my experience, I found it to have the least risk in terms of breakage, so I'm scoring along the entire curve. And tapping beneath the score line, making sure that it opens up all the way through. Sometimes it takes a while and it is the more time-consuming method, but definitely worth it for more difficult breaks like this one. So now I will move on to answering some of your questions, and I'll start with the one that I get the most often, which is, do you ever get cut? And yes, not often, but it does happen, and they're only tiny cuts, nothing bad, but it is just a part of working with glass, and I honestly don't even notice when it happens anymore. Do you have tips for stencils that don't require a Cricut? So before I started cutting them out with a Cricut machine, I would just print my patterns on regular printer paper and then cut them out myself. And then I would use like a glue stick to stick them onto the glass. And that worked all right for me to start out with, but it did get kind of annoying when the paper would just start to come off during the grinding process. And another thing that is kind of similar but also has the same issue is using a Sharpie to trace your pattern onto the glass. But those are usually the 2 methods that I see people using. And then of course there is like using vinyl and sticker paper. So I switched to a weatherproof sticker paper. So if you aren't using a Cricut machine to cut them out, I would still recommend using a sticker paper, and you can just print your pattern on it and then just cut them out yourself, which I have done. So it works the same, it just takes a little bit more time. How do you deal with the glass scraps? And then a similar question is, how do you dispose of the tiny shards of glass that fall into the tray? Is it difficult to clean up? So while I'm working, I will use a small vacuum to keep my workspace clean, and then that also works to clean up the waffle grid mat. And then those pieces are just trash. Art glass is not recyclable, so that stuff just gets thrown away. But then anything larger that doesn't fall into the tray, I will keep for mosaics. So I just have a separate box for tiny pieces like that. And then obviously anything else that I'm left with, other scraps, I will keep to use in other projects. Where do you get your supplies to cut glass from? And does it matter what thickness the glass should be? So generally stained glass is around 3 to 5 millimeters. If you have thicker and thinner glass in the same piece, really the only thing you'll have to do differently or pay attention to is the size of the copper foil you're using. So on thinner pieces you would use a thinner copper foil and then a thicker one on the thicker glass. And then when it comes to soldering a piece that has both like thicker and thinner glass, I would arrange it with the front facing down and solder the back side first. That way everything appears flat on the front side. So just keep those in mind when working with different glass thickness. And then where do you get your supplies from? All of the tools I ordered from Amazon. So they have a lot of options and they aren't too expensive. And I also do have everything linked in the description. Do you use oil for cutting the glass? I do not, and I have not tried it. I feel like maybe it is something that I should be using, but also I have gotten this far without it, so I don't know if it's completely necessary, but if you use it and think that it makes a significant difference, then let me know. Anyways, that is all for this video. I hope that it was helpful. The next step is obviously glass grinding, so that will be the next video in this playlist. If you have any questions related to that, go ahead and leave them down below and I can answer those in that video. And if you have any questions at all about glass cutting or just about stained glass in general, let me know and I will be happy to answer them in the comments.